Citizen. I am your host, Tia Carol Jones. Would you please introduce yourselves?
I'm Nidra Sims Fears. I'm the Executive Director of the Greater Chatham Initiative.
And I'm Tamika Hardy. I'm the program coordinator of the Food Lab program with the Greater Chatham Initiative.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for being here. Can you tell us a little bit about yourselves?
Well, I am a research chef and food scientist. I've been with Greater Chatham Initiative for almost about a little over 6 months now, and I've been working with the Food Lab Chicago program with the restaurateurs, with developing more business acumen around their businesses so they can make data-driven decisions.
Okay.
I'm a Chatham native, born and reared, and started founding the Greater Chatham Initiative about 5.5 years ago. And we focus on housing development, workforce development, and economic development, and for communities, Avalon Park, Chatham, Greater Grand Crossing, and Arbor Gresham.
When was Greater Chatham Initiative founded and why?
We started in 2016, and it was really to address the out-migration of Black people from those 4 historically Black middle-class communities. And we took a deep dive and learned that people left largely because the jobs that once were the backbone of the middle class. My father, for example, was a foreman at Ford. My mother was a teacher. Those jobs, manufacturing jobs that were the heart, disappeared. And so we had more people moving out, and then we had lower skilled families moving in. And so it made for a tumultuous time, and we were looking at how do we stabilize the community, keep the people that we have, and attract more people.
Okay.
And so that was really the heart of why Greater Chatham was founded, because as you know, Chicago has 77 neighborhoods, and we have 4 of those 77, and we have to market and make people know that we're a wonderful community with great housing stock, good schools, affordable housing that's affordably priced, good transportation, good parks, all the things that you want to live well. And so we had to let people know, because 40% of the people from the city of Chicago aren't from the city of Chicago. So we have to say, hey, pay attention to us.
How does the Greater Chatham Initiative benefit the community and spur economic growth?
We know that we've benefited the community. For the last 5 years, our housing prices have significantly increased, almost doubled in those 5 years, and we help do that in a variety of ways. We have trolley tours that we work with local companies like Providence Bank and Trust, Seaway Self-Help Credit, BMO Harris, to bring those people, as I said, who may not be familiar with us, to come and tour the houses that are for sale, see the Chatham Market, visit some of the schools and parks, get a feel for the community so that they can be more informed and let others know, and also decide to select a home. So we're really pleased that our housing prices, as people know, I know my mom said, I got something from the mail and they said my house was worth $300,000. Is that true? And it's like, Mom, things have moved on up.
What is the Artists on the Nine project, and how does that fit into the work Greater Chatham Initiative is already doing?
Thank you for that, Tia. Artists on the Nine is a brand new program that we're really pleased to first announce on your program. And it is for local artists who want and need a space to be makers. It's our first makerspace in the community. And we're really excited about it because it's at 79th and Evans, so 735 East 79th Street on the 9. And we know that corridor, 79th and Cottage, can be a challenge by all the pedestrians and the riders, and then the people who like to hang out on the corner. And so we would like to have more positive foot traffic.
Okay.
And the reason and how you get that done is putting people in storefronts. As you know, so many of our storefronts are vacant, and so that leads to negative loitering. And the only way you get positive loitering is to get people in those storefronts. And so we rehabilitated a storefront designed for makers, and we envision this to be our first node in a art district. So that we want to, what's in our mind's eye is to convert those storefronts along 79th Street into maker spaces.
Okay.
So this is our first foray, and we're pleased to announce we have Kristen Williams in it. She is just a fabulous fine artist. Her paintings are just beautiful, and she's a proud Columbia College grad. She's been around the block a couple of times and decided to make her new block on 79th Street. And then we have Anthony Scheffler, who just graduated from the Art Institute of Chicago, and he's also a fine artist. And so, and he's just a brand new minted graduate, and so we're happy to help him launch. And then we have a graphic designer who is also opening, and a photographer. So we're really pleased to make this available, and not only will it be a makerspace, but we also have space for galleries, so that they'll have exhibitions there, and we'll have spaces open to the community, so that people can rent the facility for small gatherings. So it's going to be a lovely space, and it's just stunning.
Oh, I can't wait to see this. This sounds amazing. How does the organization leverage partnerships and resources from other entities to provide for the businesses and organizations within the community?
So we're really pleased to say that we were able to make Artists on the 9 happen with our, one of our biggest boosters is the City of Chicago Department of Planning. They gave us, we earned a Retail Thrive grant, and got through the process, and got the work done. And then we have Landmarks Illinois, that was a construction lender for us. And we also had Pangea Cares Foundation. They put in some money, and we used their contractor Modus that just did a fabulous job renovating the space. So those are some of the partners that we leverage in order to make this so. But I also want Tamika to talk about our Food Lab Chicago and those resources and the partners that we leverage.
Absolutely. So,
I had one more question.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
What, in your opinion, is necessary for community vitality?
Well, what I said earlier, positive street traffic. We had someone come, Urban Land Institute, which is an international group of people who are interested in the built environment. They came in from all over. They had a conference here in October, and they came in to see the work that we're doing in Chatham. And I was proud to say that, so for example, Urban Gresham and the Greater Urban Development Corporation, which is a community partner that we work with, they won the Chicago Prize, which was $10 million. They also are opening up a metro station. And we noticed for the first time since we tracked housing data of the 4 neighborhoods, Urban Gresham's housing prices went up 20% in 1 year. And so we think that when you signal to the market that private sector investment is coming here, people say, I want to go and I want to live there because they have the green light.
Yes.
And so we want to also let people know that Auburn Gresham got the prize, but we also have great things that are going on the east side of the expressway as well. That, as you know, Discover is here, and they have hired 200 people, and they are in the process of hiring another 400 people to this first quarter by April 1st to go into their call center. These are good jobs. They pay between $40,000 to $50,000 with benefits and continuing education.
Yes.
And they even feed you lunch.
Yes.
So we have Discover, we have Seaway Self-Help Credit that recently just went through a major $11 million renovation. And they are going to offer a business co-location office when they open later this year. We also have Brown Park, which is championed by one of my favorite community stalwarts, Carl Lewis. And it has been so tenacious. He got Microsoft to make Brown Park the first smart park in the Midwest. And what does that mean? You'll be able to go and there'll be little devices and you can say, what's that tree I'm looking at? And the device will tell you what the tree is. You can have how old the tree is, all that kind of information. So we have that. Then of course we have the Gift of Hope, which is an organ donor site that's opening up on 79th and Cottage. And then we have the center that we are housing, the Chatham Workforce Development Center, which helps people get jobs. And so when you look at that, you can see that people are investing in the community. I forgot one more. Not only are we pleased to have Discover, a Fortune 100 company, in our community, but we also have Walmart, which has built a new customer service training center. So things are happening in Chatham. Discover said that in their hiring people, that this was one of their most successful call sites they've ever had. So we have what it takes. What I love about Greater Chatham is that we have great bench strength. We have people that are, they're articulate, they're knowledgeable, they're well educated, they're well traveled. They can talk to people from all over the nation, all over the world. And that workforce is what we want to help get quality jobs. I'll tell a story that I went to the Discover Christmas party, and one of the Tanner Principal Elementary School, the principal got up and told a story that she could tell Discover kids because Discover families, the kids are not stressed. 85% of the people live within a 5-mile radius, and so the children know that mom is and dad's going to be there to pick them up, that they actually come to student parent conferences, that the stress level of some of these parents who were commuting 45 to 90 minutes one way has suddenly decreased, and the quality of life has improved. And that's what we really want. We want the quality of life for people to improve so that they can live, work, play, eat, and pray here in 4 of, I think, the greatest neighborhoods in the city of Chicago.
Okay, great. During COVID, how did Greater Chatham Initiative help the community and the businesses?
Well, with its Food Lab Chicago initiative, we partnered with South Shore Chamber of Commerce, the Food Lab Detroit, as well as the Association for Enterprise Opportunity. And in launching that, we were able to approach the local restaurants who are in the Chatham and South Shore and Avalon areas to not only develop more of a web presence, but to increase their capacity to take online orders, so that during the time when COVID was really, really fierce, they were able to take online orders. And from that, none of the businesses who participated in Food Lab Chicago were permanently closed. They were still able to maintain their revenue, have customers coming in, and continue their operations. And so from there, after the launch, it went from we had to pivot to resilience during that time to then understanding the books, making data-driven decisions, and looking at the profitability of their plates under the theory of change that if every plate is profitable, then the restaurant is profitable. And we're doing this, we did this, and we took this approach because we understand and know that in these areas, the food service industry, the restaurants and restaurateurs are one of the higher generators of employment in the community.
Where can people go to find out more about Greater Chatham Initiative?
They can visit our website, which is the greaterchathaminitiative.org, or they can call us at 773-644-1451.
Before we wrap up, is there anything else you'd like our audience to know?
You asked who we partner with, and so we're really pleased that two of our biggest sponsors for the Food Lab program is Wells Fargo Bank and Chicago Community Foundation, and so we're just really pleased that our restaurants, not only did we help them survive, but we also helped them get money. And I want to give a shout out to, again, Seaway Self-Help Credit and Providence Bank and Trust, who gave PPP loans. They made our small businesses feel like they were big businesses. They processed those payments within 48 hours. And I'm pleased to say between the PPP loans, the SBA emergency, disclosure, the EIDL loans,
yeah.
thank you, Shy Biz, Spiff grants, that we have worked with a total of 40 food-based businesses, and they received over $3 million in grants and loans. I liken the PPP loan as our equivalent as Black people as finally getting our 40 acres and a mule. That this was the first time these businesses were able to get on their signature money, and it helped them really stabilize until things got better. What Tamika also, she talked about online ordering. We also help with online delivery. So those were really very important. And so I just applaud the restaurants that were able to pivot strong to go from, calling, just taking orders and walk in and phone to online ordering and delivery. And so it just shows again the bench strength, that how resilient, how quick-witted, how nimble our restaurants can be. And we support them because they anchor our community. We learned through COVID that community is key. You have to be able to live and eat where you live, and these restaurants were so important. After the civil unrest, a third of our grocery stores closed down. And so from Walmart to the corner bodega. And so people, 40% of our population, they don't have cars, and so they walk to get food. And so those closing of those food stores were really critical. And so they went to eat at the restaurants because that is where the food was. So it was not just nice to have those restaurants. Those restaurants were critical to make sure that our people could have sustenance. And they stepped up to the plate. Many of them expanded through COVID and actually did better in COVID than out of COVID. So again, it just shows how smart, how nimble, how successful our businesses can be when they have the tools and they have the money. So we're just really thankful for the community banks for stepping up.
Great. Well, thank you so much.
Remember to make plans to join us again next week for Conversations with the Citizen.